Hi, this is Becky Poole, and this is an extra bit from the interview with Tara Shoe. We're going to talk a little bit about HPV, which, like everybody has, but I am still confused about it. So let's talk about it. Obviously, we are not doctors. If you have any medical questions, talk to your doctor or a medical professional. In the meantime, listen to this extra bit. All right, we have to talk about HPV. And
yes.
Is your cancer related to HPV?
Yes, it's directly related to my HPV. So like I mentioned, I did not have any kind of gynecological health care up until I was in my 20s. Even through college, I was still on my parents' health insurance and didn't know how to navigate that. Right. I was in my early 20s when I first saw a gynecologist. And things were fine. And, I went through the whole thing where I tried a birth control and it was terrible. And I stopped using the birth control, which is a lot of women's experiences. I was sexually active, but I did not see a gynecologist until early 20s. Everything looked fine at the time. I didn't go again for a couple of years because I didn't really have the health care, nor did I understand how to navigate it still. And then when I was about 27, right before I was married, I went again and discovered that I had HPV. And of course, it was explained to me, most women get this.
Yeah.
I think at the time they were it's not uncommon. So this would have been 10 to 15 years ago.
Oh man, everybody was getting colposcopies about.
Yeah, everyone was getting those colposcopies, that little vinegar solution, with
man. Yep. Just to be told, yes, you do, and men have it, but they never show it, and they just give it to you.
Yeah, and you know what? It's actually kind of terrible too, because men don't show signs of it and can eventually develop cancer themselves from it.
I did not know that.
Yes. HPV leads to cancers in people with all types of reproductive organs. Yeah. It is not as prevalent, but it is possible. And so this would have been 2010 or so. Mm-hmm. And I was just past the window to receive the HPV vaccine. At the time, it was young women only, right? But they were no worries, it's probably going to go away. Went again a couple of years later. It did go away. Okay, good. Yeah. Went back a year later. Oh, you have it again. I thought, that's probably going to go away. I think I was just outside of my marriage at that point. I think I had just gotten divorced. There's a lot going on. This is 2016. I didn't check for a little while. I was dating. I was sexually active again. I didn't look again until 2019. Mm-hmm. It's still there, but you can't get the vaccine. There's not much else we can do. And they did part of the colposcopy where they just took a sample. Very painful, by the way.
Oh, fucking hurts
Yeah. So they took a sample. They said, okay, it's just HPV. It's probably going to go away. Okay, fine. Went back the following year. It's gone. Okay. 2021 comes around. I'm experiencing tons of pain. And I go to a certain gynecologist. She says, well, maybe you have endometriosis, but she goes through you don't really know until you get this procedure done, and sometimes you don't have it, and it's hard to get health insurance to cover it, this whole thing. So she put me on another type of birth control, which actually did kind of help. And then she performed the pap smear, and then she came back and said, hey, you do actually have HPV. I said, oh, okay, well, I've had it before and then it's gone away. And the last time I went to the gynecologist a year and a half ago or something, it wasn't there. She's like, oh, that's kind of weird because usually it wouldn't come back and go away. So maybe there was an issue. It wouldn't have gone away and come back in such a short time frame, I think is what she was saying.
Okay.
Got the colposcopy again. Got that painful, whatever, they punctured me 8 times or something to get some tissue. And that's when I discovered that it had turned into what they discovered was precancerous cells. And they said, okay, we're going to do one sort of procedure that's kind of like the surgeries that I had. And they said, okay, well, we did it and there was actually cancerous cells in there. And that is where cervical cancer begins. If it begins in the cervix, it begins from HPV. And as somebody in my 30s, you're told, I think after the age of 32, that you only need to get a pap smear every 3 years.
Yeah.
I recommend lying
Yeah.
Because it's the only thing that you can do. Like, make something up. Say, like, I want to change my birth control. Anything. I mean, you may still have to pay for it, but...
Right. Like, every year, going and get a pap smear. That's what I, like...
It's every year until a certain age.
Yeah. I had got the HPV vaccine this year. You can do it up until you're 45 now?
You can get it until you're 45 years old.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for fucking waiting.
Yeah. I don't know why they did. I kept missing that window. And then it's funny because I got diagnosed with the cancer. I got some procedures to remove the tumors. And my doctor, who I have now, was like, do you want to just get the HPV vaccine? And I was like,
yes.
Yeah, I do. And it's 3 shots. Like,
it is. You gotta go in 3 different times.
And I have I am in a monogamous relationship. Like, there's not, it's kind of comical for me to be like, yeah, just in case I get it again. But at this point, I'm like, yeah. Just in case I get it again.
Exactly. I think every fucking woman should get it. I don't...
Everyone should get it. And men, everyone should get it. Men can get it too.
Yeah.
My partner got it as well. Like...
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
Like, it comes back. Does it come back? Is it the same thing?
Right.
It's a different strain.
It shouldn't change it within 3-year time span. Well, it did for me.
Yeah.
Or either that or the doctor before, didn't see it. Like, I don't know.
I feel like every time I've gone to a gynecologist, I get a different answer about what HPV is, how it presents, what it really means.
Because the recommendation is always changing. But yes, you can get, it's called Gardasil, the HPV vaccine up until age 45 years old. No matter what your gender, you should get it.
Yeah, great.
Feels like a regular shot.
It's totally fine. It's no different than the flu or
COVID vaccine. Yeah. If I had been within the age, then perhaps I could have prevented it from turning into cervical cancer. But no regrets. Except I'm resentful towards the medical industrial complex.
Yeah, but we should be. This is, if everybody has HPV, what? Yeah. And it's just because it's like a sexual thing that it has
an STD.
Or
whatever they call it now.
Or STI,
STI.
Right, and it's like, well, but you can also get it as not an STI, right? You can...
Yeah, I think you can, have it, but I honestly don't know as much information about that.
If doctors don't know, we don't know.
Yeah, I know. I was like, at a certain point, I'm like, just let me play dumb patient for once. I'm kind of... I love knowing about what's going on inside my body, but also, I'm tired of being,
Well, it's a full-time job.
Yeah.
To understand what is happening, to understand what's happening financially with your insurance, tracking down numbers and people, and boy. Yeah, no, that's a whole nother... Yeah, okay, but does it protect from all strains?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so that's another thing that keeps changing. For a while they said, okay, there's 12 strains of HPV.
Oh, no, it's 60...
Now it turned into 30-something, and now it's 69 nice.
Nice.
But not nice. There's so many strains. It does not protect against all of them. It protects against most of the strains that can lead to cancer.
Right.
But not all of them, but most of them. So you may as well get it. But cervical cancer can put you at a much higher risk for breast cancer, for lung cancer, for colon cancer. I mean, it's cancer's nuts.